everyone. Is this on? Testing, testing. I think so. I mean, it's moving. Okay. Anyways, I'll just roll with it. Hey everyone, and welcome to Perfectly Imperfect. I'm your host, Andy Hernandez, and thank you for tuning in. Um, a little bit about myself. I'm 22 years old. I love to camp. I love to hike. I love to run. I love to exercise. Um, I'm a total geek, so I'm super into Marvel. I'm super into Star Wars, and all the things that all geeks love. Comics and everything. Uh, I'm also really big into music, into like the whole retro. First off, the retro vibe, as in like all the past from the 20s up to like the late 90s, early 2000s, even the early 2000s I still like. But throughout that whole era, I just love the whole vibe, aesthetic, and just environment of what it was like from the 20s to the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I just love all that. I love it. So I'm a retro head, and I love the music. I love, like I said, the aesthetic, the cars, the style, the everything. I just love it, and I implement a little bit of that with my clothing. Um, but yeah, anyways, that's a little bit about me, a little bit about my hobbies. The purpose of the podcast. I'm making this podcast. First off, I want to mention before I talk about that, I want to mention because there's a couple people that are listening to this on YouTube. I'm changing the name. I'm not. It's not gonna be Let's Talk anymore. And I know it took forever to get this episode out, and I know it's not even the first episode because this isn't gonna be the first official episode. This is still an intro episode for the podcast, so I apologize because I know I lagged on it. And the reason for my lagging and the reason why I basically took like a month to post was because I needed time for myself. I needed to regroup and rethink my thoughts and see where my head was at and see where what direction I was gonna head at and what I wanted to do. And I just did a lot of thinking, and the conclusion that I got to was that I get really camera shy. And not to say that I mean, you may call me a bitch or whatever, but I just I'm ready to do the whole putting myself out there thing now, but I can't be on the camera yet. I can't be in front of the screen yet. I get scared. I get anxious and I freak out. And I know in the video I looked fine and calm. I think I haven't looked at it since then, but I just this sounds better. This feels more comfortable for me, and I know I'm sorry. It sucks, but I'm not saying that I'm not gonna not do videos either. I might do one in the future if I feel ready or up for it. But for right now, I feel like I really feel more comfortable doing audio. So I thank you guys for understanding, and that's what's happening in terms of the YouTube. I'm changing the name. It's not going to be Let's Talk anymore. It's going to be Perfectly Imperfect. And what I wanted to say now with both people, or with both groups, because it's the podcast and YouTube, people, no, both groups that are listening right now, that it's going to be one. So it's not going to be two groups or one group. So I'm going to start calling it, one podcast. It's just going to be a podcast, because even on YouTube, it's technically, ugh, my voice cracked. It's technically going to be a podcast. So it's the same one. So it's going to be called Perfectly Imperfect, and it's going to be what I'm going to talk about on this channel is going to be from everything from mental health issues, anxiety, life problems, depression, relationship problems, general advice that I have, or like general things that I want to say, my personal life, and either stories that I have about my past, or about things that like I kind of feel like I grew on. And also, like I said, I want to mention right now that I'm a religious person. For the people that don't know about this, or the people that are listening to this on the podcast that are hearing this for the first time, I'm a religious person, so I will be implementing a lot of my um, Catholic viewings of things and stuff like that. So if you guys already want to tune out, go ahead, deuces. But for the people that want to get to know that a little bit, or get to know a little bit about what it is to be a Catholic, or what it is to be around the faith. People have a lot of strong opinions of what they believe the Catholic Church is, and I like to say, I'm just basically saying that just if you guys want to tune in and listen to the future episodes to come, when I talk about the faith and when I talk about my religion, um, it might be something that you guys want to listen to, because I will be talking about a variety of things, whether it be about conflicts that people have about it, whether it be about things. I'm not going to be saying, I will say right now, I'm not a professional. I'm not anybody that has expert opinions or has expert knowledge or expert anything about any of the things I'm gonna talk about. I'm just I'm just a 22-year-old kid. Like I'm just a guy that just has opinions about things and finally has the courage to just want to speak about them. And it's not. This isn't just an opinions based channel either. Like this is just my thoughts. These are just what I think, what I believe, what I feel. Um, and yeah, and that's not all I'm just gonna be talking about. It's not just gonna be religion. Like I said, it is relationship problems, relationship advice, life problems that people go through, struggles or things that people feel like they have situations in to where they feel like they're cornered or stuck and stuck between the wall. Well, yeah, stuck on a wall, stuck between the wall or something. Yeah, they're cornered and they don't feel that they don't know how to get out. Like this is about all that stuff and how to overcome that, how to be just better versions of yourselves and everything. Like this is just a growing channel basically for helping yourself just improve and be a better person. And I hope that we can grow together and we can be that together. And I hope that we can just continue to uh, be our own versions of perfect and be ourselves. But anyways, those are some of the topics that I will be talking about. Um, but I also, it's not gonna be sad. I know it sounds all depressing, and I know my vibe right now is like super, super like just mellow, and that's I think because I just I have no music or anything in the background. But it's not just gonna be really lame. It's not just gonna be boring topics. I will be talking about, like I said, anything that I want to talk about, anything that I feel like it's just relevant to talk about. Hot topics, anything. Like, it's just this channel is gonna be for me, but for everyone, if that makes sense. Like, it's a helping channel, if that makes sense. I don't know. Does it? Okay, we'll just roll with it. But yeah, that's my goal. I want to, I want to just help people out because a lot of people struggle. A lot of people are going through things and situations where they feel like I said, they're cornered or they feel like they're stuck, um, with their back up against the wall. There we go. That's what it is. Back up against the wall. But I'm here to tell you that there is hope. That there is faith. I mean, there is hope, and there is that if you just have a little bit more faith, that things will look on the brighter side, and that you know the world isn't just full of crap and full of shit and isn't just full of shitty people. Like I know that's just how it feels like sometimes because half the time everyone has a shitty attitude or everyone has a bad attitude or everyone's just there's just something up with the world, with people nowadays. Uh but I'm here to tell you that like there's still beauty in all of that. There's still beauty in them and there's still good in them. And if we just re-spark the light that we barely see in someone, that we can reignite something beautiful and that we can really start to make change. And that's what I want to do. Like I want to I want to I want us to be the change that we want to see. I don't want us to just keep pointing fingers and say, you need to change, you need to change, you need to change, you need to do this. I see you acting like this and I really recommend you to be like that. Or I really say that you maybe improve on that a little bit. How about we just stop pointing the fingers and we point it directly at ourselves and we say it's time for us to change. It's time for us to improve a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know what I mean? I'm pointing the finger at me too. Like, I'm not a perfect person. That's the purpose and that's the name of the podcast. Perfectly imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. Listen to those words. Perfectly imperfect. We're imperfect people. We're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. And yeah, we want to be perfect, which is why I put perfect in front of imperfectly. Um, but we're never going to be perfect. We're always going to be imperfect, but we're striving to be good. Like, yeah, we're going to fall sometimes, meaning like we're going to have moments where we bump and where we sometimes like, even, like, where we can be, everything's good. And then all of a sudden one slip up and boom, like we're in a situation where we're like, oh, damn, you know what I mean? But I'm just here to tell you that, like, and like I said, yeah, we're never gonna be perfect, but we strive to be, and we want to be. We're perfectly imperfect people. We we just want to be good. We want to do good, and that's the purpose of this podcast. To really just shout that out. That like, yeah, we're sinners. Yeah, we do shit sometimes. Like we're fucked up. Like you know what I mean. Like myself included. Like there's sometimes where like we're having a bad day and like somebody gives us some type of attitude and like because we're having a bad day we just decide to throw some shade at them, like direct shade at them, or really just honestly talk shit or something just to piss them off, like literally for the pure simple joy of wanting to piss them off because they know that because that you had a bad day and that you're upset and that might make you feel a little better and like little things like that, like we don't gotta do, you know what I mean, that we can just that we can just be chill with one another, be cool with one another, be able to be open about situations or topics or just things that we're going through, and really sit down and ask like, hey, are we okay? And like not have to hide behind a mask, not have to hide behind your shield of stubbornness or your shield of not wanting to let somebody love you or something. Like, no, it's just a lot of us wear a mask. A lot of us wear some type of protection or a layer or a coat of something that distances or keeps distance between um, ourselves and others, emotionally, physically, or whatever. Like sometimes, like we do that, whether we are thinking about it or not. Sometimes, and I'm not saying all of us do that. And for the people that don't do that, and for the people that are the total opposite of that, I really congratulate you guys. But for some of us, it's tough. For some of us, we have a hard time opening up to people. We have a hard time talking to people, talking to others, or really even just speaking about things that are going on within our lives, within our heads. It's a scary thing. We open that door of vulnerability, and we're scared because, you know what I mean. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure, not only me, but there's a couple people that whenever they left that door open for someone and they let someone in, I mean, they got hurt. I know, because that's why you're in the situations, or that's why we feel like we're in these situations, because of the trust that we feel like we don't have with people, or the loyalty that is broken between other relationships in the past that we've had with other people, or whatever it is. We need to regain all that, the love, the respect, the honesty, the 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 happiness. We need to just bring all that back, the genuineness. There's so much ungenuineness around out in the world, and I don't even know if that, genuineness, uh, whatever. But I don't even know if that's out there. Like, too much. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't too genuine anymore, and they only aren't genuine because they're like, well, if I am, like, what if that person fucks me over? Then I'm gonna look like an idiot. And it's kind of like, okay, I rather you look like what you call or what your version of an idiot is, but rather grow from that than, you know what I mean, than to just keep acting the way you're acting. Because tell me, how is that going to fix any situation? Like, for example, if like if you give okay, if you're walking into a store and you have a shitty attitude, and you go up to the cashier, and the cashier's like in a super good mood, and it's telling you, oh, how are you, like, how's your day, like, you know what I mean, and you're just like just giving the worst attitude ever, like, tell me what you're gonna give off. Like, just gonna give off a bad vibe. Like, you know what I mean? You're just gonna give up an upsetting, like, you're just gonna create an upsetting environment. And you know what I mean? Like, that's not healthy for you or for the people around you. So it's like, maybe we got to change little things about ourselves. And I'm just speaking on the general, because that could be that sounds extreme. Like, oh damn, that's probably like the worst personality ever. That's like, Andy, I'm not so angry like that. I don't get angry like that. I don't like really literally create a whole bad vibe inside of a store. Like, no, but there are a couple things that we do, or maybe certain things that we say, or how we act with people that really gets them upset at us, or stuff like that. I don't know, whatever it is. And I don't want to dip my fingers into this, because it's like I said, it's just an intro podcast. But the point is, we really, really, really got to check ourselves. We have to really see if we're trying to be the better version of ourselves, and if we're not, and if we're doing things that really just upset people, or that just hurt people, or that just aren't good things, or don't make you feel good. And I don't mean like go, like, if you don't like beer because it doesn't make you feel good, don't drink it. I don't mean like that literal. I mean, like, if you, God damn, I lost my train of thought. But either way, it's time for change, and it's time for us to really just be better versions of ourselves, because that's what we have to be. We have to be the we have to we don't have to be perfect. We got to be ourselves. And I actually wrote this down, and hopefully I start to say this a little bit more often, because I do want to kind of keep this going. But I will say, don't be perfect, just be you. Um, and yeah, uh, that's what's gonna happen. That's my goal, and I hope you guys enjoyed the intro to this podcast. It's not the official one. The official one I will be working on tomorrow, and I haven't mentioned about this, but I'm gonna be scheduling episodes, um, every every Friday. So tomorrow, being that it's Friday, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to post it because I'm gonna have to record it, edit it, and then post it live. So if I don't post it tomorrow, I will post it Saturday for sure. But after this week, the following week, I will be posting every Friday, and everything else will be every Friday. Um, but yeah, that's when I'm gonna be posting the podcasts or just the episodes, and the first one's gonna come out hopefully tomorrow, and if not Saturday. But yeah, I hope you guys tune in, and I hope you guys continue to want to grow this with me. And I mean, let's just try to be good. Let's just try to be good people, and let's not be perfect. Let's just try to be ourselves together. Thank you guys. Much love, and God bless.